Hey everybody, welcome back to So Fast Die Young. I'm Morgan. I know it's been a minute since I posted a video. I really am working on a bunch of different things. I wanted to go ahead and post this video really quick because this is going to be my 60th video and I wanted to get one more out before the end of the year. So this is going to kind of be a short one. It's going to be about a very specific alteration that I have done on a project that I'm working on right now. So hopefully there might be some more videos from this project, but today I want to talk about how to do a full abdomen alteration on a pattern. So a full abdomen alteration is used in a couple places. So this is particularly on a jacket pattern. The one for on like a pant or skirt is slightly different. So in this case, I'm making a tuxedo jacket for a good friend of mine who has a bit of a gut, as many of us do. I mean, you've seen all of the different alterations that I've had to do to fit things for my body. So it's not a bad thing, and it's not an unusual thing either. I think that's the thing. Modern clothes, especially like ready-made clothes, are not adapted for bodies, like the variety of bodies that wear them. So having to do alterations and know how to do things like a full abdomen adjustment is a good thing to know how to do, and it's a good thing to do because you can take something that is not actually designed for a normal human body and make it fit, because all bodies are normal and all, you know, configurations of bust, waist, hip are normal as well. So let's go over to my little drafting table. I have a little mini mock-up of the front of this jacket that I'm going to show you how I did this alteration on, and then I'll show you the big pattern. Yeah. Okay, so here I have a little mini quick drawing that I did of a tux jacket front. So like I said, this is a shell collar tux jacket that I'm making for my friend. And on a jacket, the full abdomen alteration is done kind of down the center. I like to do it parallel to the grain line. How I did it, and there's a couple ways you can do it because you might do it differently. If you're accounting for someone's bust line, you might actually do it lower depending on how the upper portion of this fits someone's bust. So if the bust is fitting fine, you might, like let's say they just had a low belly. Like if this was a woman's pattern and it had bust darts and everything, you would do it farther down. With him, he's got kind of a slope from his chest down. So I went with just, on the big pattern, it was, I think, about 1.5 inches underneath the armscye. I drew a line out to about where the chest bust point like would be, about halfway, and then I drew a straight line down. Okay, so like again, if this was a woman's dart, like I think the bust, you know, there's like a little bust point. It depends on which pattern you're working with and if you have this marked or not. It somewhat is a bit of a guessing game too. You're not going to screw up too much. I mean, this ended up laying, I already did the pattern, did the mock-up, and it laid great on him. So you're going to end up cutting, and I already did it. I'm going to lift my tape here because I already cut this because I filmed this once, but then I didn't like it. So you're going to cut up to there and then over to your side seam. You're going to leave it adjustable like these. Okay. Then we're going to take pattern paper. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to mark. That was what, that was the whole point of me refilming it, because I realized I forgot to mark. And we'll leave the waistline, which on the jacket was somewhere around here, right? It should be, waistline should be perpendicular to your thing. And you can also, depending, you can, if you take measurements like underarm to waist, or center front, neck to waist, or shoulder to waist, if you take those measurements, they're not like standard measurements that you normally take, but as a costumer, I take them a lot. If you take shoulder to waist, you can know the point where you need to add the amount. So the point that you're taking the largest measurement at, because that might be different than the waist. If you take the shoulder to that largest measurement, then you also know where you need to add that line. So you can either do it at the waistline if you know the waistline, or you can do it like at another point if you have that other reference point to tell you how far down you want to adjust. So for sake of argument, in this case, we're just going to use the waistline. So the waistline would be perpendicular. So what you're going to do is you're going to open this up this way. And this is very small, so it's going to be a teeny tiny amount really. But here, right here at this waistline, that's where you're going to pay attention to how much you need to add. So for him, I needed to add about 4 inches because his chest, his belly was about 4 inches bigger than his chest. So I ended up putting about, I added a little bit in the side seam too, just for an adjustment. And then I've taken it out now because he's lost weight since. I'm taking that out, but I'm leaving this. So I put about 1.5 inches here because it's on 2 sides. So 1.5 inches here is going to be 3 inches total across the front. Okay. So remember, divide it in half because you're only working with half your pattern. And then I had put a little bit back here. And now, like I said, he doesn't need all of it, but he does still need this slight adjustment in here. So you're going to add your amount here, and then you're going to tape it all back together. So this is actually going to kick. What happens is this kicks out a little bit, and this kicks out. And then we're going to tape, which gives you that volume here. Now, you are going to have to, because you can see that this has dropped down a bit, you're going to have to, because this is going over the curve of the belly, this is going to need to come down to drop to meet this. Okay, so when I did this mock-up on him, I actually, because I did it out of muslin, I left a bunch of extra muslin in general. He's also a very tall gentleman, so I left an extra 3 inches, and I ended up the hem on him ended up being the original cut line from the original pattern. So like there was extra beyond that cut line. It wasn't the stitch line, it wasn't the hem line of the original pattern, it was actually like 2 inches or 1.5 inches lower, because that would have been the cut line. I think there was 1.5 inches fold up seam allowance in the pattern. So that's why it's really good to, if you're doing something like this, to try and do a muslin mock-up first, so that you can also make some adjustments and account for some extra. I hope that all made sense. I'm gonna switch over to the pattern laying out on the bed and show you the actual physical pattern that I did. Okay, to get this in good frame, I had to do it on the floor instead of on the bed, but you can see I ended up dropping the arms eye a little bit in my pattern before I cut it again because he was a little tight, and then I'm going to put a gusset in here for some movement. But you can see here where I did that alteration, and then the waistline was right about here on him, so that was where I added the 1.5 inches. Yeah. And then let me show you, I can show you the mock-up on my mannequin, hold on. The actual piece is not, it's cut, but it's not together yet, so. Okay, so here is the jacket. This is on my mannequin because I don't have a men's mannequin. But you can still see this lays nice and straight, so this has that alteration in it. It still lays great, still does what it's supposed to. It doesn't flare out too much on the sides. You can see where I pinned down a little bit in the side panel that I'm going to take out, but that's for a different reason. So yeah, this is the jacket. But you can see, so when I cut this, I marked the original pattern line So actually it was even a little bit more. So this is how much, this is the original pattern line, edge of the pattern, not the stitch line. The stitch line would have been 5/8 up from here. So the stitch line would have been up here, where this would be folded up to do the facing on the bottom. So that is the adjustment. That's how much longer I need to make it. The nice shawl collar. This side's a little, once it's out of the real fabric and has all of the interfacing and stuff, it'll sit really nice. That is the mock-up of the text. The rest of it's in pieces right now, waiting to go together. Alright, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and found this particular alteration helpful. I will be trying to do more next year. Hopefully there'll be some more videos on this jacket. You'll get to see it actually put together in fashion fabric and everything. I'm just not at a point that I want to share that right now. But yeah, I think there might be some welt buttonhole, welt pocket stuff going on with it that I might, if I feel like I have the time to film this week as I am putting it all together, I will. So I just want to say thank you to everybody who watches my channel. If you find these videos useful, please remember to like and subscribe to my channel. If you have the bell, that'll give you notifications when I post new videos, since I'm very sporadic at it. Yeah, and I love you all, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye!